We've been making a lot of announcements about climate and neighborhoods in the last couple of weeks, so we're kind of pulling it all here together today. And there's no more appropriate time to do it, obviously, on a gorgeous day like today. And boy, this weekend, I don't know about you guys, it seemed like everybody in the city was outside yesterday enjoying our parks and playgrounds, neighborhoods, forests, you name it, they were out there. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful day. But we also know it's a time of the year when things are going to start heating up for us. And many Louisvillians want to start thinking about preparing for the heat. And it can be really hot in this city. And it's about a couple months away from that, let's hope, before all that starts. But for us just to say it's going to get hot and not address that challenge in some kind of way would be super short-sighted, especially with all the data and history we have behind us right now. And I think you all have heard us talk quite a bit as mayor. One of my goals is to help us become a healthier city with a truly a global mindset. And that means more than just welcoming people from other countries, but it also means we have to take steps to be economically competitive on a world stage. And to do that, we've got to understand where and how the global and local concerns overlap. We certainly know that global temperatures are rising. We know this has serious implications for our future. Still, when we think about global warming, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the vastness of the challenge because obviously it feels as big as the whole world. And it's easy for people to think, oh, what can I do? It doesn't matter what I do. What meaningful actions can I really take on a problem that's so big? So it's only natural that all of us would ask ourselves that question. But we've known for some time that the issue of rising temperatures isn't just a global threat. It's impacting Louisville and our citizens on a daily basis in our summer times. Now, like many cities, the temperature in our urban core is higher than in surrounding suburban and rural areas, and it's rising. This contrast between the urban core and the areas that surround it is called the urban heat island effect. And the urban core heat island in Louisville is rising at one of the fastest rates in the country. Data tells us that. Now, that has serious implications for our citizens. It impacts our health, our economy, the economy from your wallet to our talent attraction efforts to costs for our businesses and our overall quality of life. It's important that we address that. That's why we've taken unprecedented steps to understand the nature of our challenge and determine what we can do to cool our city and improve the lives of our citizens. Today, we're releasing the results of our 2-year Urban Heat Island study. My administration, through the Office of Sustainability, which is part of Louisville Forward, commissioned this regional climate and health assessment conducted by the Urban Climate Lab at the Georgia Institute of Technology. We were able to do this because of the generous support of the Owsley Brown Foundation and the Augusta Brown Holland Foundation and the Funders Network for Smart Growth and Livable Communities and its partner, the Urban Sustainability Directors Network. The Louisville Urban Heat Management Study examines the way our built environment contributes to our heat island. It also presents a series of recommendations and provides targeted neighborhood-specific strategies to address and manage our level of heat risk. Now, the study confirms several things that we already know. As we've discussed in the past, we need a much more robust tree canopy. Urban trees in particular filter air pollution, provide shade, which helps nearby structures stay cooler, and they reduce the ambient air temperature, amongst other benefits. The study also tells us that one of the key factors increasing our urban core temperature is the abundance of dark-colored asphalt and other surfaces. Buildings, streets, parking lots, even vacant lots that are covered with dirt instead of grass, these absorb heat from the sun. And we all know it by when we walk by these places. It's just like, man, this feels hot. As a result, the temperature downtown and in some of our urban residential neighborhoods can be hotter than outlying areas by as much as 10 degrees. The hotter air exacerbates the effect of air pollution and causes problems, more problems, for people with asthma and other breathing conditions. That's one reason why this heat can be deadly for some people, particularly our most vulnerable citizens, our youngest and oldest citizens. And then we often see ER visits and hospital admissions certainly increase during heat waves. And we know that too often the zip code where you're born can correlate with negative health concerns, and this is unacceptable to everybody in our city. In addition, The added heat causes citizens and businesses to run their air conditioners longer and higher, which drives up energy costs for citizens and businesses. And when you think about where some of our heat islands are, they're in some of the poorest areas of our town from an economic standpoint. And this is just another high cost of being poor. When you don't have a high tree canopy, you got to run your air conditioner more, you don't have the money to pay for it in the first place, and it's just another bad effect which is unacceptable. It also increases air pollution, which obviously contributes to more global warming. So we all know this is a vicious cycle that we need to do more to stop. Now, how do we do it? Obviously, we've been working on this for quite some time, but the purpose of the study is to really give us some data so we can understand more specifically how we can go about doing this. We need to continue to work with the Metro Council. I see Councilman Bill Hollander over here. Thank you, Councilman, for being with us here today. Councilwoman Angela Leet as well. Thank you, guys. Let's hear it for them. Good environmentalists. So they're part of the solution. The state's part of the solution. Certainly the federal government is as well. But when you talk about this, our most important allies are each and one of you all, our citizens here day in and day out, because this is where individual action needs to take place. So we've had lots of public meetings related to sustainability, and there are numerous citizen groups, many of which are represented here today. Nonprofits, members of our business community are working hard on this every day. And we're grateful to them and obviously counting on that same level of support and cooperation for us to continue to move forward in the community. Now, the report's official name is the Louisville Urban Heat Management Study. We're calling the overall effort to lower our heat island temperature Cool 502. Cool 502. And we're asking everyone to take part. There are loads of specific actions in the report that we can take that will help us reduce our heat island effect. One of the most important steps related to our businesses and commercial buildings is for us to have more cool roofs. That includes certainly white roofs that I'll talk about in a minute, but green roofs as well, which have actual plants and vegetation on them. And most people think about green roofs, but we'll find out white roofs are just as important and less expensive. For green roofs, our Metro government building just down the street, the 444 building, has a green roof. The American Life building downtown has a green roof. Now, cool roofs can also be coated or painted white. White roofs are just as effective from a temperature perspective and are certainly less expensive than green roofs. White roofs are good for our structures. When you think about why do you wear light-colored clothing when it's hot outside, same thing applies to roofs. A white roof reflects the sun's heat back rather than absorbing it. When you think about almost all the new construction going on in downtown, white roofs you'll see there. The new Omni Hotel, for instance, will have a white roof. And most other industrial and commercial buildings that are new have white roofs with them as well. So it's another example, too, of why sustainability is good for business. Our businesses get this as well, and we're grateful for that. In a moment, we're going to hear from Hans-Peter Gobsky from Clariant, another one of our sustainability leaders in the Louisville business community, to get his perspective. Now, successful businesses find ways to adapt to changing circumstances. So, for example, there are lots of new building materials just being developed that provide high solar reflectivity with shingles in colors that aren't just stark white. And as an entrepreneur and a guy who used to work in the summer times tarring roofs, I was the guy that got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and got that hot tar kittle going. I see this as a real possibility for smart, ambitious people in these industries to develop new and better roofing and paving materials. So for the entrepreneurs that are out there thinking about this, go for it. We got a lot of growth in this particular area. Now, another key component of our strategies to reduce the heat island effect, obviously, is something that we've known forever is good, and that is planting trees. Right now, the tree canopy in our city is about 37%, and our goal is to get to 45%. By comparison, Atlanta, for instance, is at 50%. And that makes a huge difference. And that's why we've made a lot of investment, unprecedented investments for the city in areas like hiring our first urban forester several years ago with Erin Thompson to lead our efforts. I don't know if, I assume Erin's here somewhere. She's always here. She's a rock star. Great job for what you're doing, Erin. Erin is a unique human being. She can talk at a PhD level about trees and their impact, but then you'll find her 45 minutes later with her sleeves rolled up planting a tree and leading a group of kids doing that. So that's fantastic. Just like Cindy Sullivan, who's here as well. She has the same type of versatility. She runs Trees Louisville, that was helped, that we formed after working with the Trees Advisory Committee, I guess is the best thing to say. Henry Heiser is here somewhere. I saw him as well. And he's our first chair for that. So thank you, Henry. So we're trying to get after it with trees. And it's not just going from 37 to 45. It's going to be where the trees need to go. And that's what I'm going to speak about here in a second. So we certainly have been leading tree planting initiatives, but we all need to do so much more. And the government can only do so much with trees. Most trees are obviously on private land, so we need all of our private citizens to step up. JCPS has been a tremendous partner with us in this. I see Mike Mulhern in the back there, once again, one of our leaders in sustainability. And the goal is to turn every JCPS site into an arboretum, where it is a beautiful example for all of our children on different species of trees, but also the importance of trees as well. So that is underway. So to our citizens, if you're asking what can you do, obviously planting trees is one way to help. We need to plant trees the rest of our lives for all of us. And when you're doing that, and you are replacing your roof, or you're involved with a business that's recovering its roof, please take that chance to cool off our city. And let us know about it on social media. I mean, this is all part of a culture change, an evolving culture change in our city. So we need to change our success stories. One of the ways to do that is sharing our stories through social media. So when you do your contribution, take a picture of it, write a description, and go to Twitter and hashtag cool502 and share what you're doing and challenge others to do it as well. Now we're taking another innovative step to make citizen participation easier. We're a city of great neighborhoods. Everybody knows that, where there's tremendous pride and investment in their neighborhoods. I see Tom Stevens over here, I believe, from the Center for Neighborhoods. Thank you, buddy. And that's good that people have this pride. So what's really cool about this project is we've created a neighborhood-specific database. So you can go online to louisvilleky.gov, put in the name of your neighborhood, whether it's Portland or Valley Station, and see the data about your specific neighborhood, identify your primary heat island challenges, and then say, okay, here's what we can start doing to take action. So for example, Old Louisville could reduce their heat island effect by planting 7,348 trees and installing 517 white roofs. Now you might say, why is this so specific, this, that, and the other thing? The point is for us to kind of get our arms around what the scale of the challenge is. And when we say, okay, well, let's start cutting this up into a 5-year challenge or 10-year challenge, and who needs to be involved at what levels, it really gives a level of specificity to this that we've never had before. And this is the country's first urban heat island study, so no city's ever had it before. So this is really something we should be proud about as Louisvillians. So this database will help guide citizens, neighborhood groups, and everyone in making better sustainability decisions. And obviously, data helps us to make good decisions. So we now have the tool about that. And data is important, but ultimately what's more important is improving and saving human lives, especially right here in our hometown. So this is good stuff for us. Now we're taking a lot of steps to get ready for the summer, boosting our cooling center program, partnering with EMA and MetroSafe and the National Weather Service on red flag programs to better inform citizens if extreme heat conditions are coming, and hosting fan and indoor thermometer giveaways so people know when the temperatures inside are not safe. So see, there's some specific things for this summer. Metro Parks is adjusting its mowing scheduling on air quality alert days. And we're also looking to add more cool roofs on Metro-owned buildings and parking garages and expand our green roof incentive program. And that's just the start. We're launching Cool 502 to help our citizens live longer, happier lives, and to help our city become an even better and healthier place to live and work. This work, I think everybody understands, is a continuation of the work that we started when my administration was sworn in on January 3rd, 2011. That was a cold, windy day. But even on that cold day, we knew that global warming and local warming presented ongoing challenges that affected our citizens and the future of our city, and that we need to work together to tackle those. That's why we created the Office for Sustainability. We housed it within Louisville Forward because we know a healthy economy and a healthy environment are inextricably linked together. and our citizens certainly demand and deserve both. And then that's why what we're working to achieve with our Sustain Louisville plan, which works with the business community to achieve sustainability goals and make us a more livable city and attractive to talent and businesses to locate here. And when we're recruiting these companies, they ask about our sustainability plans, they tell us they've read our plans, and they're impressed that we're doing something about it, because not all cities are as aggressive as we are in this area. We're working towards sustainability in a wide variety of ways, including Brightside's Clean and Green One Bright City initiative. And just last week, we honored commercial building owners who are participating in our kilowatt crackdown program, which helps them reduce costs and energy use. Just this past Friday, I signed the Compact of Mayors, joining 160 mayors from around the world and making specific pledges to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and report our results to the Compact and our citizens. The Move Louisville plan we unveiled about 10 days ago seeks to reduce the number of miles we're driving, which will also improve our air quality. If we do that and cool off our heat island, we can reduce some of the negative health impacts we're talking about today. Also, like Move Louisville, the Urban Heat Island Study, it's not a regulatory document. Its purpose is to guide us as we make and implement related policies in the coming years, and this study will help us obviously make better decisions with data. I want to also note again that this study was funded entirely by private donations. Some great citizens that stepped up said, we want to help with this. I want to thank again the Owsley Brown Foundation. I don't know if Christy is here with us today. I saw Gil Holland over here, who's certainly a partner in the Augusta Brown Holland Foundation. If Gil and Augusta are here, or Christy, please let's thank them. So lots of good folks involved, and we appreciate that. I also want to thank Maria Cutter. She's the director of our Office for Sustainability. I got a big job in that office and a lot to do. And I want to thank Michelle King, Executive Administrator of our Air Pollution Control District. Thank you. And Brian Stone from Georgia Tech. He was the professor that helped lead the way. Really patient. This guy's focused on getting it right, and he's done a great body of work for us here. Now, the report is online at louisvilleky.gov. Along with some other items like a few quick videos that explain what a heat island is and how you can help reduce it. Today is the first day of a 60-day public comment period. So we want feedback from citizens. What do you think we got? What did we miss? There's a form on the website where you can tell us that, and you can provide feedback also through our social media channels. There's also an open data element, obviously, to this plan. Through LouisStat and other efforts, we've established a national reputation in this area, and our work in this project is going to be no different. So we invite anyone to look at the study and come up with their own ideas, and please share them with us. And we'll be sharing the lessons that we've learned throughout the city here in the coming months and years as we work to translate this information into even more action. Because we know that no one action or person one program can single-handedly resolve the issue of dangerously rising temperatures, but together we can do it. It's a gradual process. It does take time, but that's true of so many things in life. There is no instant pudding, and this is no exception. So that's what we need here for our city, just sustained effort. Now, let's hear from Keith Talley with the Air Pollution Control District, who has his own heat island effect on with that hat that you just took off. But APCD has just done some fantastic work for our community, and EPA is strengthening the requirements for air quality, and we appreciate that. And we'll rise to that challenge. But what you've seen over the past year are some steadily increasing results with air quality that we're proud of, and I'm proud of the team that we've put together to attack even higher challenges. So Keith leads that team. Keith Talley.
First of all, let me thank everyone for being here. I'm very happy to be here. You know, the mayor's talked about a lot of things that are going on in the community to address a variety of issues, but what we have learned is that all of those issues at some level play into the air quality that we all have to live with. So I think the big takeaway here is the way that this community and Metro government are taking a look comprehensively. So when we look at things like the MOTEAM and Move Louisville, the signing of the Mayor's Compact, the urban heat island study. All of these things will give us the kind of information so that we can address the issues of the air quality in this community in a very comprehensive and a very smart manner. And so today is just another day that we can be proud of in Louisville in terms of addressing the issues and make this a much better place for all of us to live in.
Thanks to Keith and the whole APCD team. We appreciate that. We talked about Dr. Stone in the study. Dr. Stone is going to deliver a lecture about his findings at 6 o'clock on May 16th at the Egan Leadership Center at Spalding University. So that'll be free and open to the public May 16th at 6 o'clock to hear from Dr. Stone, the author. Now, we've talked about the importance of business and the entire community coming together around our environmental efforts. And boy, our Clariant here in Louisville is just a tremendous example of how to do all this. Smart growing 21st century cities need companies like Clariant, and they understand that they need to be progressive in this area as well. So Hans-Peter Gabsky is here with us today to talk about Clariant and the importance of this initiative. Hans?
Thanks, Mayor Greg Fischer, to invite me to talk about such an important topic, such as urban heat islands, and especially what businesses and industry can do about it. Clariant is a globally leader in specialty chemical companies, and we employ 17,000 people around the world. We are headquartered in Switzerland. Here in Louisville, we responsibly manufacture industrial catalysts at our 12th Street location, at the Crittenden Drive location, and we have our business headquarter for catalysts at Hill Street. What are catalysts used for? Catalysts are used to manufacture plastics, to manufacture petroleum jelly, or even baby oil. The use of catalyst tremendously reduces the consumption of energy, it reduces the consumption of raw materials, and it reduces waste and also greenhouse gas emissions. We were talking about sustainability, and sustainability is a core pillar of Clariant's business strategy. Responsible corporate management plays a key role in order to treat our customers, our employees, the neighbors, and the environment in a sustainable and responsible fashion. As a result of this, we are listed in the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, recognizing our outstanding and sustainable efforts along the dimensions of economy, environment, and social performance. In Louisville, we work diligently on our sustainability goals. We have set goals for 2025 to reduce environmental key factors and KPIs. We are on the way reducing our energy consumption by 37%. We have reduced our direct and indirect greenhouse gas emissions by 57% since 2005. So this is a tremendous achievement. And we really aim to be a good corporate citizen in our own home city of Louisville. Our newest commitment is that we participate in a tree plantation program here in Louisville. And Mayor Fischer, I think when industry and business come together and join and support citywide initiatives, I think a lot of positive results can be achieved. So thank you for that. We are happy to be part of Louisville and also pleased to be part of the solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hans-Peter. Now I'd like to welcome Assumption High School student Reagan Davis. Reagan and a handful of her classmates participated in the Bright Side and Partnership for Green City Youth Summit in December. From their work at the Youth Summit, Assumption, Ballard High School, and Farnsley Middle School were awarded grant money by the Nolenberg Foundation to implement plans to combat the urban heat island on their campuses. So Reagan is here to tell us about Assumption's strategy to fight urban heat island. Let's hear it for Reagan.
Just gonna adjust this for a moment. All right. So today I'm here to talk to you guys really quickly about one example of how we as citizens, and specifically as Assumption High School, can work to try and mitigate this problem of the urban heat island. Now, I know that Mayor Fischer has already talked about the sources of the problems, things like black roofs or black lots like our cars, and things like the lack of a tree canopy. And it's something that you can even notice when you walk into the city and you notice that our trees are blooming much faster than the trees outside of that main city because it's much warmer here. So it's just a visual representation. And if we had more of those trees, that might solve our problem. So that specifically is the first thing that Assumption is looking to do. We already have a good number of trees on our campus, but they're not located around those black lots, which is specifically what will help mitigate the problem the best. Trees both absorb the sunlight and provide a canopy over things that might absorb the sunlight in a negative way, like parking lots or like roads. Specifically because we're located on Bardstown Road, which is one of the largest contributors to the issue of the urban heat island in Louisville, which is arguably the worst urban heat island in the nation, it is imperative that we look at this and that we improve our tree canopy specifically. But this isn't the only way that we're looking to improve. We also have an initiative that we're looking towards to create a green wall that would grow greenery along the side of one of our walls, a vertical brick wall specifically, because vertical brick walls act as absorbers that contribute to the increase of temperature in canopy level air layers. So again, it's very important that we try and cover what is currently a negative absorber with a positive absorber like greenery. Our proposal is to increase the number of trees specifically lining the paved surfaces, and we estimate that this will have a microclimate temperature reduction of 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, which is huge. Not only this, but we're going to perpetuate the urban breeze cycle through this green wall on our front of our brick walls. And finally, and arguably the largest and most important thing that we as Assumption High School are going to be doing to help mitigate the urban heat island effect is to expand our green STEAM studies. STEAM standing for science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. Now, we as a school have already taken a lot of strides. This year we implemented a biotechnology class. We have the Air and Space Academy. We have a STEAM club that are working very hard towards this. But when we expand our green STEAM studies specifically, we're not just helping to mitigate the urban heat island, but we're also helping to improve it for the future by teaching freshmen and sophomores to compare cooling abilities of different vegetation, or to maximize evapotranspiration on the main campus through growing more trees, or through limiting the amount of black surfaces that we have. Not only are we mitigating the urban heat island with what we have built and what we've created as a campus, but also as a school. We pride ourselves on Mercy education. The Sisters of Mercy founded us, and their foundress, Catherine McCauley, was very, very focused on educating women because she believed that when you educate women and when you educate young people, you are then able to change the world in ways that you couldn't if you focused on other things. And so we believe that if we continue this green STEAM education, if we don't just put trees there, but we teach the girls why the trees are there, then we'll not just create a better urban heat island effect, but we'll also end up creating scientists and politicians and world changers who will eventually help to fix it all together.
Come on, Reagan Davis. All right. We don't have anything to worry about. Well, great job to Assumption High School Rockets and to the Assumption speech team as well. Great job.